So welcome back, my dear friends. Welcome back, everyone. This is Dr. Osama Kashwa, your teacher, and this is a new lecture in the risk and how to manage risk and how to see the risk. So just to see the risk, we will see right now. Here we go. The risk definition is effect of uncertainty on objectives. Note that an effect may be positive or negative, any effect, or a deviation from expected. Also, risk is often described by an event, a change in circumstances or consequences. Also, the risk is the difference between the planned and the actual results. So if I plan, if I, example, plan to produce 10 units, and the actual results that I produced only 3 units, then the risk will equals 10 minus 3 will equal 7. So risk also that way can be understood by that way. If the plan, I plan to produce 10 units, but the actually, when I came to produce really, I found that I produced 3 units, then the risk amount will be 10 minus 3 will equal 7. This is the meaning of the word risk. This is the meaning of the word risk. So risk is the difference between, or the gap between, the actual and the expected results. The actual and the expected results. This is, so actual results and what we really get. Institute of Risk Management is defining the risk as risk is combination of the probability of an event and its consequences. Consequences can range from positive to negative. Orange Book from HM Treasury also said that it's uncertainty of our outcome, uncertainty of outcome within a range of exposures arising from a combination of the impact and the probability of the potential events. Institute of Internal Auditors also define the risk, the uncertainty of an event occurring that could have an impact on the achievement of the objectives. Risk is measured in terms of consequences and likelihood. So those are the meaning or definitions of risk, and that will lead me to take the first question today, define risk. You don't need to write all these definitions, but you can write only one definition of them. That will be fine. And just I want you to focus on the idea that the risk is the gap between the actual and the expected results. This will be our first question today. Define risk. Okay. We'll stop here like around 2 minutes or 3 minutes to get the answer, guys, about this, please, before we move into the next idea in this video. Thank you. Nice. We'll move to the next idea now in this video. The types of risk. What are the types of risk? What can we say when we can say what are the types of risk? Like you see here, we have compliance or mandatory risk. This is the first type. Second type, hazard or pure risk. The third type, control or uncertainty risk. Fourth type, opportunity for or speculative risk. Opportunity or speculative risk. Those are the types of risk. Perfect. So those are the types of risk again: compliance or mandatory risk, hazard risk or pure risk, control risk or uncertainty, the name is uncertainty, and the fourth type is opportunity or speculative risk. The likelihood and the magnitude, those means the probability and the frequency. We have four types based on its own location of risk. So in this area, as example, this will be here, low likelihood and low magnitude here. It's down both for both of them. This area is high magnitude and low, since it is low in the likelihood. The likelihood means the probability. Here, high, both of them. High in the magnitude, because here it's high in this area, and high in the likelihood as well. How about this area? High likelihood and low magnitude. So on those four, that any kind of risk is including one of those four areas. Shading or color coding is often used on the risk matrix or provide a visual representation of the importance of each risk under consideration. The worst one of them is here. Here, this area, it's high in the probability and high in the effect. High in the probability or the frequency and the effect. So here, the importance of each risk comes under consideration. As risk moves towards the top right-hand corner of the risk matrix, they move more likely and more greater impact. Like here we said. So here, the likelihood, and here is the impact. The likelihood is the frequency, how many times. So here as example, looks like as example, let's say the earthquakes in Japan. The likelihood here is very high, means the probability is very high. And the impact or the effect is very high as well. So this area, high in the frequency and high in its effect. So also of the importance of each risk under consideration. As risks moves towards the top right-hand corner of the risk matrix, they become more likely and have a greater impact. Therefore, the risk becomes more important and immediate, and effective risk control measures need to be placed. Actually, what we can do here is just use the control measure to reduce the amount of risk. We can use the control measure to reduce the amount of risk. That's what we can do. Usually, that's what we can do. Reduce the amount of risk with the control measures. And that's what we will see here in this place. So here again, therefore, the risk becomes more important and immediate and effective risk control measures needs to be taken in place. That's how I will deal with the risk, by the risk control measures. By this sentence, by the risk control measures. That's how I will deal with the risk. Risk control measures. Okay. And by taking proactive approach to risk and risk management, organization will be able to achieve the following four areas of improvement. It means that I don't wait till the risk occur or happen. No, I have to work on the risk. I have to work, like as example, you are expecting kind of dangerous or hazards. Don't wait till it happen. You have to take like steps or just in case precaution actions. And you don't put only one scenario. You have to put more than one scenario to deal with each case of the risk. As example, I will put here a scenario on the case if it comes in this area, or if it comes in this area, or if it comes in this area, or if it comes in this zone or this area. So I will put four alternate plans. What about if these floods will come low? It's low likelihood, it didn't repeat from a long time, and it's also effect last time was not so much. Just drawn some fields, some acres, only few acres. Then I will put a plan like this. How about if it comes the opposite? That I will put a plan like it comes usually too much, and at the same time, when it comes, it's devastating. It's taking all the things in front of it, the cars and the houses, and like the tsunami. It looks like the tsunami when it's in its effect, and many people are dead and so on. So I will put two plans. Or in that case, I will put, based on this matrix, 4 plans, just in case, for 4 scenarios, to deal with 4 cases of the risk situation that will happen. So like I said here, that's what we will do here. We will take a corrective actions and we'll take a corrective movement to deal with the risk and for improvement. By what? We have to do strategies, because the risk associated with different strategic options will be fully analyzed and better strategic decisions will be reached. Just one thing I said before, we have the difference between the strategic and the tactical and operational plan. So I will repeat it back right now and see what are the differences between strategic and tactical and operational plan. And I will show you the difference between them. So the word strategic, the word strategic, which is highlighted here on this slide, this strategic, means of a vital important. The word strategic, as example, the word strategic in our life, we use it for only things that is very important to our life. I say I migrated to Canada. This is a strategic decision. Strategic means I'm not every day immigrating into Canada. Or also in the same time, the strategic decision of a vital important. You don't do it too much in your life. The cost of the strategic decision is so high. You are not buying a toothpaste, but here you are doing a very great, something of a great value, and its impact is very, very severe and very strong. And in the same time, the consequences or the consequences of these types of decisions, if something is wrong, then you will be suffering. So as example, the strategic decisions, a small mistake in the strategic decisions will lead to a big disaster in the future. So these, we call it strategic decisions. Strategic decisions, like if you will buy a car, if you will make a factory, if you will do an investment, strong investment, if all these, we call it strategic decisions. The point is, a small mistake in these strategic decisions will lead to a big problem in the future, particularly because the consequences and losses will be very high. This is the point.